requirements and only such public business matters were identified in the motion to go into executive session. Yeah. Personnel, A1, A7, and A8.
Mr. Saccovici?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't say.
Mr. Boston?
Yes.
Mr. Ball?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
And Mr. Parsons?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay. I guess, Dr. Hooper, you become in charge for our reorganization of our January 12th, 2023 school board meeting.
The Code of Virginia requires that the Russell County School Board to reorganize annually. Russell County Public Schools has adopted January as that date. I will be responsible for facilitating the chairman selection, voting, and determining the chair. At that time, I will return the meeting back to the chair to determine the other positions. I will now open the floor for nominations for chair for the next calendar year.
I'd like to nominate Ms. Compton.
I'll second.
I would.
Okay, we'll make the nominations. Go ahead. Is there any more nominations?
I would like to nominate Mr. Gibson.
Okay. Do we have any other nominees? I'll close the nominations and then go through. Okay, we'll close the nominations now, and then I'll bring up, do we have a motion? We do have two individuals for the floor for the chair, and that's Ms. Cynthia Compton and Mr. Bob Gibson. And do we have a motion for Ms. Cynthia Compton?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, do we have a roll call vote?
Well, I really appreciate the support of my board members. I mean, I work with them all well, and I appreciate them from the bottom of my heart. I truly do. But I will decline and go ahead and nominate Mr. Gibson. But if you need to
Point of
vote.
order. So basically you're refusing to accept the votes or what you're saying?
I was declining, but we can go ahead and vote. I'll leave it up to you.
Okay,
I make a motion
well,
for vote.
let's,
Second.
the floor, they've got to vote.
Uh,
Let's go ahead and vote.
Okay.
Mr. Zackery?
Well, I'll be honest, my first choice is Cynthia, but in lieu of Cynthia's comments, I'm going to swing my vote to Mr. Gibson.
I would like to nominate somebody else in your place. If I could, since you're not going to accept it.
well, we gotta
I think
finish
we've
this.
got, yeah, the nominees.
Well, I didn't know she wasn't going to, accept it. Or to,
Let's go ahead.
I think-
vote for it, okay?
Mr. Boston?
No, I mean, I vote for Cynthia. Even though she don't want, I'm still going to vote for her.
Mr. Ball?
I will look for Ms. Compton.
Mr. Gibson?
No.
Ms. Garrett?
Mr. Gibson.
Mr. Parsons?
No.
Ms. Compton?
And, no.
Okay, do we have a motion for Mr. Bob Gibson?
Yes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, do we have a roll call?
Yes.
Mr. Zackery?
Yes.
Mr. Boston?
No.
Mr. Ball?
No.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
Mr. Parsons?
Yes.
And Ms. Compton?
Yes.
That's a majority. Congratulations, Chairman Gibson. Floor is yours.
Thank you. And we now have a motion for vice chair. Nomination for motion for vice chair.
I nominate Cynthia.
I'll second
Are there any nominations?
That we should, that we
that.
Is there a
I
second?
would rather decline that.
All right, Mr. Pepperidge?
This is for Cynthia.
Yes.
And Mr. Boston?
Who we voting for? Sure.
Cynthia.
Ms. Compton?
Abstain.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Ms. Garrett?
Yes.
Mr. Parsons?
Yes.
Ms. Compton?
Yes. I'll try to keep it. You may have to really pull it in there. I had too much Christmas food.
Do we need a secure vote for the school board clerk? Any nominations for the school board clerk?
I nominate Brooke Webb.
Or a second?
Second.
Are there any other nominations for school board clerk? If not, roll call vote or
This,
on her
Yeah.
acclamation. Now we'll facilitate selection for a school board attorney. Any nomination for school board attorney?
Yes. Compton.
Is there a second?
Eugene.
Eugene. I'm sorry.
Is there a second?
Second.
And,
I'll make that second.
Are there any other nominations for school board attorney? If not, appoint them school board attorney by acclamation. And we've determined their operational method is currently Robert's Rule of Order. There are nominations for school board operating methods.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? The Robert Rules of Orders.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. I'll bring this to the Robert Rules of Order. We now need to determine our regular scheduled meeting date of the board. It's currently the first Thursday of every month at 6:30.
executive at 5.
Yes, except at 5, regular, we open the public at 6:30. The motion on the floor,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it if it's good with all the other board members, if they're liking this time and date, whatever's convenient.
there's a motion on the floor and a second to continue the first Thursday of the month. in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next, chairman will appoint members to the school insurance committee. I'd like to appoint Ms. Compton and Mr. Boston, probably willing to serve.
Yes. Wayne,
Ms.
I'm
Compton
shaking
and
my head.
Mr. Boston.
thank you.
I'd like to appoint a liaison to the Russell County Board of Supervisors. Mr. Walker, are you willing to continue that? Yes, sir. Mr. Bob, for that. And we're now on a representative to A. Linwood Holmes Government School, which is at the region, which you.
Yes, I'd be happy to.
Support members to serve on the budget committee. I'd like to appoint myself and Mr. Parsons. And the school board members, the clerk will now sign their ESP code of conduct. Thank you. Now we stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As to the delegations or the,
Is there anyone that would like to address the board tonight?
Let's bow our hearts for a word of prayer, if you would. Almighty God, we thank you, Heavenly Father, for the opportunity to be out tonight, and those that will be honored later on tonight. We ask that you would bless the school system under the leadership of Dr. Hooker and the new chairman and all the board members as we move forward into the new year. Just give them the wisdom to lead this school system according to your will. Forgive us for where we fail you, and have mercy on us in the storms that may be heading our way. In Christ's name, amen.
thank you.
Anyone else?
Are you talking about a public concern?
Yes.
Yes, I'd like to
Okay.
speak, please, ma'am. Thank you. Hello, board members, my name is Jeremy Huff. I have a concern with the Lebanon Youth Basketball League that ended up there to Christmas. I had an incident occur with the president of the league, Mr. Lambert, on December 16th at the middle school with me and my wife. And I can tell you details if y'all want to know, but my concern is I called the school board on January the 9th, and I talked to Mr. Greg Mullins to try to find some answers out. And I asked him on this situation who could answer me on how Mr. Lambert conducted himself at this ball game. And he said that this league was run by Mr. Lambert, the president, and nobody in the school system was over him. And I would like to know who he has to answer to, because the school gyms are being used by Mr. Lambert, and he should have someone in the school system that has to regulate this league. I'm thankful for it because my boys participated in it, but the way he conducted himself at this game towards me and my wife was really disrespectful. And I don't care to tell you all details, but I was calling the school board to try to find out, to tell somebody about the situation so they could talk to Mr. Lambert about it. But Mr. Mullins said that as far as he was concerned, that it was the president of the league that you had to talk to. And my opinion is, if you all let anybody use the gym, they should have somebody here that he would have to answer to. And it really upset me that he talked to my wife the way he did. But I'm a Christian person, so I kept my course and did not elevate the situation. And I also found out upon checking out that he has no background checks done on any of the coaches. And the school doors are open to these kids. And he also had practices when kids was in after school. So your all school doors was open, letting people in that you may not be aware of who they are or what they're into around our kids. And that was a concern for me. And I'm thankful for the league, very thankful for it, that the kids have an opportunity to play basketball. But I also think that there should be somebody here, if you have a situation that Mr. Lambert should have to answer to, because Mr. Mullins could not answer me that. And he told me if he had time to check in the situation, he would call me back. I haven't received a phone call yet. And he also said that he was aware that people could not be in the schools when after school was going on, but after school hours had changed. There was multiple times that my sons had practices that there were still kids there at the school. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, I just wanted some answers of all this that happened. And if you need to know the situation, the way he conducted himself, I don't care a bit to explain. If you all would like to know what he did. My oldest son, he had a ball game at 6 p.m. at Lebanon Middle School on December the 16th. There were several people in the crowd voicing their opinion of the game. There was no referee there, so Mr. Smith was my son's head coach, Matthew Smith, and Mr. Brad Lambert was the other team's head coach, so they was reffing the game. There was a lot of people voicing their opinions on how the game was left, like here's a foul, there's a ball. All my wife said was the comment, there is a foul. Mr. Lambert comes and crams the whistle in her face and tells her if she can do any better for her to ref the game. My wife tells Mr. Lambert that she is not putting that whistle in her mouth after he's had it in his. And he asked her, said, why are y'all singling me out? And my wife said, I didn't single anybody out. I'm just saying, just like other fans was, there's a foul, why didn't you call it? He then tells my wife to shut up and sit down, which I thought was very, very rude. The game continued on, and he still kept calling a bunch of fouls and stuff, and people was voicing their opinions. And I made the comment, there's a walk, or you're not going to call it. He comes and gets in my face and crams the whistle in my face and tells me that I'd love to be coaching my son, but I am reffing a basketball game. Here's the whistle if you can do any better. My comment to him is it should be fired. If you're going to call it on one, call it on other ones. He stopped the whole game in front of second and third grade kids to watch this. I did not elevate the situation. I kept very respectful and nice and did not raise my tone of voice. And my wife made the comment to him, if he wanted to, we could take this outside, and he turned around and walked away. Which I'm not the kind of person to cause a scene. I'm a Christian person. I was raised here in Lebanon, and a lot of y'all know me and know my family, and I'm not trying to stir stink up. It's just a concern for him being involved in our school system and facilities acting the way he acted. And it's a concern for none of the coaches, and I don't even know if him, as far as I know, he's not affiliated with the school system at all in Russell County, and then just the gyms turned loose to him to basically do what he wants to do with it. And that's my concern, and I really appreciate y'all's time, but, you know, I would like to know who he has to answer to in the school system, because according to Mr. Mullins, it's whoever's over the basketball, and that's him. And if it's him, there's nothing gonna get done.
What's a rec league? It's the rec league, and then they fill out the usage to use our buildings. Yes,
Directly through the town?
yes. Through Lebanon, yes.
And I was just trying to get some answers, and I really appreciate y'all's time, and I'm not trying to cause problems with you all, I just would like to have some answers. And I would think there'd be somebody in the school system that could help regulate this, so we don't have any of these problems.
Dr. Can you check
Sure.
with the town of Lebanon and see?
Yes, I am.
And
I would think that the coach would also have something to do with the head coach. I don't know
I
how
can
it
check
works
on it.
here. I mean, most of these programs, I don't know.
Well, I would think that the principal would still have some.
Principals too, yes.
Okay. It's just my concern, these doors open, you know, there's kids there, they're not doing background checks, and it's a safety issue for all of our kids. And, you know, somebody should have to regulate him, and he should have to have somebody to answer, Lee. And I'm not trying to ruin this league, I think it's a good thing that all the kids have something to grow up to. And sports is a great thing, and both of my kids was involved in it and done good, and I hate this situation happened. But I was just trying to get some answers, and I haven't been able to get no answers from nobody about anything. They all say it turns back to him, and you're not gonna get no answers for him, because he's gonna do what he wants to do.
Appreciate you.
And I did send the mayor, Mr. Doty, email of everything that happened, and if y'all did that, I'd be willing to email it to y'all, or he can email it to y'all, whatever y'all need. And I really appreciate y'all's time, and I'm sorry, and I hope I didn't hold anything up, but I really appreciate y'all's time, listening to what I have to say.
Well, we appreciate you coming,
Yes.
and Ms. Hooker will check in.
Well, I appreciate y'all looking into my concerns, and if y'all can find any answer, I can leave you my number, or any way to contact me. I thank you all a lot.
Sure.
The biggest thing I can tell you to do is when you reorganize next year, to take care of those problems in your reorganization.
Yeah, I understand. I just think that's gonna be hard to do, because he's the president of the
Well,
league.
no, somebody has to elect him, somebody has to put him in there.
I don't know how that goes for it's a
You-
youth
you
league.
need to
I agree
find out
with you
is,
100%.
That's what you need to find out.
I agree with you 100%.
And
Mr.
as
Ball.
far as this situation right now, it's a little bit out of our control, although, as you do say, we have the building and that type of stuff. But the key to it, to happening again, is having the right people in the organization.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%.
Unlike Tim, I think the principal should be, you know, like still
He's
Russell County
responsible
Schools
for
bill.
Yeah, I understand that. I agree with you, but Mr. Warren's way he talked to me was, the president of the league, which is Mr. Lambert, was in control of everything, and nobody at the school was in control of this, and that's why I come here to see if I can find out who he had to answer to.
Ms. Kim,
Well, they should be back.
I'll check, I'll check.
Leave your number with
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Hooker. and
Thank you,
she'll
Mr.
follow up
Gibbs.
with you.
Thank you all y'all for your time.
Thank you.
I hope you have a blessed night.
Thank you,
You
Mr.
too,
Duff, for
thank you.
coming.
Anyone else? Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. Mr. Gibson.
Dr. Hooker, are there any adjustments to the agenda?
No, sir.
Do you have a motion to approve the final agenda?
Make a motion that we finalize our agenda. Mr. Gibson?
I need to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that, at the end of Kim's term, that we get here for 4 more years.
That you didn't, I believe, at the end,
That would be at the end.
be at the end of the meeting.
There's a motion on the floor to finalize the agenda. Need a second.
Second.
All in favor of finalizing the night's agenda, say aye. Any opposed? It was finalized. Have approval of the minutes of the regular monthly meeting from last month.
So, Mr. Chairman,
I'll second that, Mr. Gibson.
Okay, would entertain a motion to dispense the readings of and approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's time for the best part of these meetings.
It is. I'd like to ask Ms. McCoy to come up and help with the recognitions.
Thank you,
Dr. Hooker. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the Russell County School Board. Our recognitions for December, actually, are our Lebanon High School 2022 Virginia High School League Boys Group 1A cross-country state champions. And I'd like to ask our team members and their parents to come forward, please. Come on. I'm going to call your names. Derek Mitchell, parents Mark and Janet Mitchell. Alec Deckard, parents Mike and Tiffany Bush. Eli Taylor, parents Jonathan and Heather Taylor. Harder Dillon, parents Brian and Prudence Dillon. Emmett Breeding, Preston and Crystal Breeding. Blake Chafin, Brett Chafin. Ethan King, Derek and Stephanie King. Landon Hess, Eric and Landon Hess. Owen Jones, Thomas Jones. And Reagan Jones. Hunter King, Derek and Stephanie King. Gavin Tincher, Brad and Shelley Tincher. And Colt Roberts, Nikki Roberts. So that's a big group. I'd like to ask Mr. Joey Long, principal, and Coach Travis Hooker to come forward.
That's about our whole office.
I'll go first. Okay, sounds good. I'll be brief. You're here to recognize these fine young men for their wonderful accomplishment. You can just look at it. They're a class act. A great group of young men who are the epitome of your student athlete. They take care of themselves around the building. They apply themselves academically. And when the season started this summer, they had a goal. And, you know, I don't know how non-parents, non-family members, I don't know if you all realize what they put in to be a successful cross-country runners. This sport is in late summer and in the fall, and they're out there 2 or 3 hours a day running in 85-degree heat with 90% humidity. I have great admiration for them for what they do. And, you know, I'd like to thank the parents of this bunch, constantly fundraising, helping out with everything, very supportive of their kids. Thank you all. Congratulations to me, Coach Hooker.
You know, yeah, like Coach Long said, it takes a whole group, you know, so from the board members, my administration, my teacher peers, absolutely all the parents. Parents are number one in cross country. It takes a lot of things, you know. I enjoy training the kids, I enjoy getting them ready to run, and they enjoy doing a lot of the things behind the scenes. So between the coolers, the transportation, where we're eating, all those things, you know, they're great. So got a very, very good support system. Like Mr. Long said, you know, we were state runners up last year. Set a goal as soon as we got out of school, we was gonna start meeting on the Creeper Trail 2-3 days a week, and then running 11 another 2-3 days a week. So they all bought in. You know, we returned to everybody. We got some freshmen we got 3 new freshmen in, so we knew we had a good chance coming in, but obviously they knew they had to work hard. So we bought into the things, accomplished a lot of things throughout the year between district, region, and state. We started off perfect scoring at districts, which means we had the first five runners. That doesn't happen very often in any competition. Then went on to win the region, went on to win the state, went on to win the individual state too. So just a dream season for me. They make me look good. You know, I hold them accountable. They do good. We got everybody back but one person. We lose one senior. So we're moving up to AA. You know, not looking forward, but we hope we go back to back. But we'll enjoy this one. The kids enjoyed it. They worked hard. Determination, like I said, is something they'll remember for the rest of their life. So they all know I'm proud of them. So appreciate everybody's support, and thanks for having us.
We have a plaque for the entire team, and it says, presented to the Lebanon High School Boys Cross Country Team by the Russell County School Board in recognition of their outstanding achievement of winning the 2022 BHSL Group A 1A State Championship. And this one goes to Owen Jones, Gavin Tincher, Colt Roberts. Emmett Breeding. Ethan King. Hunter King. Blake Chafin. Carter Dillon. Carter also gets a certificate in recognition of winning the 2022 VHSL Group 1A Boys Cross Country with a 15th place off-state. Eli Taylor. Eli also had a 12th place all-state finish. Alec Decker. Okay, Alec also had a 5th place all-state finish. Derek Mitchell. Derek, I see him running a lot. I see all these guys running a lot through town. But Derek, we're going to give him this plaque in recognition of being the 2022 VHSL Group A Boys Cross Country first place all-state. We'd like to give, is this one going to Mr. Long? Yes. Okay, Mr. Long, have a plaque that you can put up in the school.
Thank you, Dr. Cook.
Well, and we wouldn't leave out Coach Hooker.
Thank you, Dr. Hooker, Mr. Long. And if you would shake hands with your school board members, and then a picture will be made with the Lebanon News.
Good job.
Thanks, Ed.
Congratulations. Thank you. Is it?
Okay, our next recognition is Employee of the Month, and that goes to Miss Stephanie Adams, custodian at Swords Creek Elementary. I'd like for Miss Adams to come forward with her family and Dr. Seth Gent. Dr. Gent, before I read her nomination letter, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank the Russell County Public Schools and the board members for this opportunity. This is a great program to recognize an amazing young woman. Her diligence, effort, and aptitude certainly don't go unrecognized in my school. As you grow older in life, you learn that the power of a kind word or some type of encouragement. That's what this is all about. She goes far and above what her responsibilities are, and it is very evident that she has the heart of the school at the best interest of the school at her heart. And so that's the anthropologically reason that what leaders should seek in education. And so, again, thank you for this opportunity. Ms. Stephanie, you're valued and important more than you know. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Gent. Just a few words about Miss Adams. She's very hardworking and keeps her school in tip-top shape. Stephanie is always the first to help when she sees someone in need. I love to see all the decorations that Stephanie comes up with for each holiday to lift all of the students' spirits. So thank you, Miss Adams.
I'd like to present this to Stephanie Adams at Swords Creek Elementary School. She's been named Support Staff Employee of the Month. Congratulations.
Okay, let's check the board members' hands.
You see that? On the way. Congratulations. Good to see you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Jen, if you'll stay just a few minutes. Our teacher of the month also comes from Swords Creek Elementary School, and her name is Karen Bostic. And I don't think she's with us tonight, but if Dr. will give that to Dr. Jen, so he can present that to her, but I'd like to read a few words about Ms. Bostic. I have observed Karen in her daily job title for several years now, and I've witnessed her love and drive that she has for her job and the students at the schools. Karen not only does the requirements of her job, but she also goes above and beyond. She communicates with the teachers of each grade to see what the students may be learning, and she adapts that into her library lessons. She helps the students to prepare for SOLs in her library lessons. She does skills, the alphabet, music, exercise, and so much more to make library time fun, educational, and structured. Karen also incorporates morals and respect into her lessons, that which seems to have gotten lost along the way the past few years. So congratulations to Ms. Bostic. Dr. Gent, would you like to say a few words?
And the same that I said for Stephanie could be said about Ms. Bostic. I think she spent as much time in the school this summer than I did. And she's just another example of somebody that has a real connection with kids. The school is ingrained in her DNA. She's been there for I don't know how long, but congratulations to her as well.
Thank you.
Dr. Jen, it's now time for approval of our bills and accounts. Are there any questions concerning our bills or accounts? Motion, pay our bills.
I'll make that motion.
Thursday.
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Dr. Hooper, retirements and resignations.
Yes, we do have a small list for the board's approval tonight.
I'll make a motion that we approve the resignations and retirements. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And we go to approve of the new personnel and transfers.
Also, another small list for the board's approval.
Is there a motion for approval of the new hires and transfers.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Mrs. Appleby. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I abstain on all the matters.
You will vote for it.
I keep looking wrong.
Okay?
Even it is free.
Volunteers. Okay, moving to action items. Dr.
Yes, Chairman, we have 3 action items tonight. The first one is the approval of the Special Education Advisory Committee. The board is asking for approval of that.
I'll make that motion.
Ms. Garrett is our school board member representative on that committee.
Okay.
Should we have a motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, the second action item we have, we're asking the board to approve the abiding by the Virginia State procurement policy. What we'd like to do is to abandon our small procurement policy and abide by the states.
I make a motion to ban their local procure policy.
I'll second.
And we don't do the other.
Is there, all in favor of abandoning our procurement policy? Any opposed?
Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the state's policy for purchasing.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, Ms.
Okay, the third action item we have is the approval of items as surplus at Castlewood High School.
We've got opportunity to see that list. That's anything to do with the old home economics
Yes, it's the
items.
items out of the old economics at the Castlewood High School.
I'll
I'll
make
make a
it.
motion that they let them sell them or give how they want to proceed.
Thank you.
I'll say this, Mr. Parsons. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on to sales tax.
Make a motion to pay.
Motion on this. December sales tax was $444,085.80. May, ADM through November the 30, 2022 was $31.79. Moving on to the maintenance report, are there any questions or concerns? What maintenance reports?
Well, mission maintenance, Ms. Hooker, I'd like to, we have, teachers of the month and stuff, and I think that Tim has shined all year and been one of our top people. And when he mentioned maintenance, I'd like for us to at least do something for Tim. That's because he's done a great job.
I think you just did.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't come up with all.
Thank you.
Come on, no.
Speech.
I really enjoy it, and I appreciate the opportunity. I
You
really
did a
do.
good job, Tim.
Yeah, and then, like I said before, it's the guys in that department. Yeah, it's not me, it's them.
Okay, moving on to.
Something goes wrong, we cussing, you know.
I know. And that's part
As
of
long as you're fixing it, it's good.
That's good.
Now we're on speed dial. Dr. Moving on to the expenditure report, are there any questions or concerns with that report? If not, moving on to future agenda items.
If I may, Mr. Gibson, noticed in our VSBA News, the governor has proclaimed January the 15th through January 21st to recognize our principals. And I think they've been trying to get that legislation passed since Governor Biles, and it never did get taken care of, but they have now designated that week of appreciation for principals. And I think that parents and school board members and teachers, everybody needs to recognize what they have a hard job. They truly do. And they've got many roles to cover, and we need to remember them next week. So make sure that you recognize them. And the month of February is appreciation for our school board clerks, so don't forget that. That'd be Ms. Brooke.
Thank you, Ms. Conklin. Any other future agenda items?
Yes, I would like to make a motion that we give Ms. Hooker 4 years added on to her contract now.
I'll second.
Yes. Okay, we have a motion on the floor to extend Ms. Hooker's contract, and there's a second. Any discussion?
I have a problem, and it's not with Ms. Hooker in any way, but she's only been here on the job now since July, so 6 months. And she still has 2 years left, not 2 years, year and a half left. And I think it's a little early, but I mean, she's done a good job, I will say that. And I'm proud of her, but I still think it's a little early to do it. That's just my opinion.
Yes. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
I think Dr. Hooker's done an outstanding job, but I have to agree with Wayne that it is a bit premature, and I'd like to make a motion that we table that motion.
I believe we have to vote on the first motion since there is a second. Am I correct?
I think that a motion can be made to table an item before the vote is made on the original motion, so I think that's inappropriate in this Robert's Rules of Order. The problem you get into is when you try to table an item after you've had a vote on the motion. So
I second his motion.
We need a roll call vote on that motion. Okay. Would take a roll call vote on Mr. Zachary's motion to table Mr. Parsons' motion.
Mr. Zachary?
Yes.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Ball?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Garrett? Mr. Parsons?
No.
And Mr. Nixon?
No. Okay, so the Mr. Parsons' motion will not go tonight. Any other future agenda items?
Yes.
Any board members?
Yes. We had some problems, and we brought young girls in and talked to them with just men. And I know we've made now a woman's coming in, but I would like for if it's something that's steep, I would like for the parents to be notified of it. I mean, if
You
it's,
know what member he's talking about?
if it's just a fight or something, I'm all right with it, but when it's something that,
I think he's talking about the sexual nature, allegations.
yes.
Was that what you're supposed to look into, Mr.?
Yes, and really, I don't think we want to go there. I think a principal has the right to question, but I mean, we want them to use common sense to call those parents.
And have,
But I don't,
a female. in-
yes, and
Right.
definitely have a female.
To me, that's
president.
common sense.
Yes.
You know, if you got administrative assistant or.
But sometimes there's confidentiality issues that we have to go by as well.
So we could look at our policy, and that road, somewhat.
To do what?
Maybe, keep these departments the same.
Have a female. A female, your question.
At least
I
one
mean,
female.
unless if you all want that in the policy, but I mean, our principals are doing that.
Okay.
Well, that's me.
But it didn't happen one time.
Right,
And
so
so
we've addressed that.
you've addressed it, okay.
Mhm.
So it's not supposed to happen again, is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But I was asking, you know, for the parents to speak up,
Mhm.
you know, if it's something that,
Have you looked into that, what it is?
Yes, and I mean, we can ask the principals to do that.
Okay.
Talk to parents.
I think they should be.
But as far as them being present, sometimes that's not
No,
always.
it's not, that's not, I have a lady in there, ladies, and the same should apply even with a woman teacher and women
Yes.
teachers and women.
it's right.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
both
yeah.
ways, you know.
And a football, you
And I
know,
think
you
that
should
should
try
be-
to call the parents too, I mean,
Yeah.
either one.
Yes.
I think we're all on the same page, we just haven't been get there.
Yes.
Could any future calendar items?
I would like to mention that we will be advertising that we will have a public hearing for the FY '24 school budget at our next board meeting, which is on February the 3rd at 4 o'clock. And that will be advertised.
February 3rd, it's our regular meeting,
At a regular meeting, but the public hearing will begin at 4 o'clock.
4 p.m. That will be in the paper.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to the date of our next school board meeting, February the 3rd at 4 p.m.
It's actually February the 2nd, I'm wrong.
Okay, February the 2nd.
I'm sorry about that.
Every second.
I had it written down wrong. And we will advertise it as February the 2nd.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All right, thank you, Ms. Conklin. So, school board will be adjourned until February the 2nd.